Hey there, pun lovers. Have you ever wondered if artificial intelligence like ChatGPT can be used to create puns? I recently received an email that claimed ChatGPT wasn't capable of generating original, funny ideas like a human can, but I'm here to prove the opposite. Before we get started, I want to address something. In the email I received, the author was making a case for why machine learning models like ChatGPT are not good at coming up with original, funny ideas. But the more I read the email, the more it became clear to me that the author's real intention was to sell their own product, which is supposed to help people come up with creative ideas. Now, I'm all for promoting products and services that can genuinely help people. But I don't think it's fair to make unfounded claims about the abilities of other tools or models just to make your own product look better. Slandering others is not the best way to sell your own products. That's why I wanted to create this video to show you what ChatGPT is really capable of. It's not perfect, but it's a powerful tool that can help you generate puns and other types of creative responses. And who knows, maybe it will inspire you to come up with your own original puns and jokes. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the email and break down its main points. The author claimed that ChatGPT can't create original and funny ideas. I asked ChatGPT's opinion on this, and here's the response. It seems that the email writer is making a flawed assumption that ChatGPT should be able to generate original, funny ideas in the same way that a human can. However, ChatGPT is a machine learning model that generates responses based on patterns and associations it has learned from large amounts of text data, and it can only generate responses based on what it has learned. In terms of the tasks that you gave me, ChatGPT was able to generate a wide variety of puns, including different types of puns, wordplay, and idioms, and it was also able to modify and adapt phrases to create new and interesting variations. This suggests that ChatGPT is capable of generating a range of creative responses, although it may not always hit the mark in terms of generating original, funny ideas that humans find amusing. Overall, it's important to recognize the strengths and limitations of machine learning models like ChatGPT, and to use them in ways that leverage their capabilities while acknowledging their limitations. ChatGPT can be a useful tool for generating ideas and responses, but it's important to remember that it is not a replacement for human creativity and originality. Let's put ChatGPT to the test with the headline, "Join Our Jabs Army." This headline is from the email, and the author claimed ChatGPT can't come up with good puns for it. Firstly, to identify the topic, I asked for an explanation of what a pun is, then requested some puns for the word jabs. Although the list provided was great, it was not quite what I was looking for. Then I asked ChatGPT for short, funny puns that could be used on a t-shirt, and it came back with a jabtastic list. To generate more puns, you can provide it with a list of existing puns and ask it to continue the list. For opposite variations, I asked ChatGPT to pretend it has the opposite opinion and generate opposite puns. For example, when I asked ChatGPT to come up with puns from a conspiracy theorist perspective, I got Japocalypse and jab strangulation, among other good puns. Given that the Sun's authors are creative people, and I know for sure that the author of the email is a super ultra mega creative person, it is difficult to believe that they did not deliberately make a fool out of ChatGPT. The email also claims that to create funny ideas, one must understand how humor works and that ChatGPT is not there yet. However, in our conversation, ChatGPT generated a perfect pun using an idiom, proving that it comprehends humor. For instance, I asked ChatGPT to create rhyming puns with the word brain. One of the results was, "Don't be a fool, use your noodle." Although the word brain was not explicitly present in the pun, I found it amusing and asked for an explanation. ChatGPT replied with an expanded explanation, revealing that "use your noodle" is a common idiom that means use your brain, or think cleverly. This exchange shows that ChatGPT is capable of understanding humor, and its responses may not always contain the exact word or phrase requested, but they can still be humorous and effective. And at last, the email claimed that ChatGPT can't understand the mechanics of a pun, but ChatGPT proved this wrong by giving an excellent explanation of how puns work and even providing an example. He first gave me a general explanation, then I showed my brilliant English again. With mechanics, I meant something like take this, add this to get that. But despite my terrible English, I got a perfect answer. I see what you're asking now. Here's a basic breakdown of the mechanics of a pun. Start with a word or phrase that has at least two meanings, or that sounds similar to another word or phrase. Identify the context in which the word or phrase will be used, and the intended meaning. Consider the alternate meanings or similar sounding words that could be substituted for the original word or phrase. Choose a substitute word or phrase that creates a humorous or clever effect when combined with the original word or phrase. Use wordplay, word association, or other linguistic techniques to create a pun that subverts the listener or reader's expectations and adds humor or cleverness to the intended message. For example, let's use the phrase "time flies" and create a pun based on its multiple meanings. Here's a possible breakdown of the mechanics. Start with the phrase "time flies," which can refer to both the passage of time and to flying insects. Identify the context, such as a birthday card or social media post celebrating someone's aging. Consider the alternate meanings, such as substituting the word bugs for flies or the word crawls for flies. Choose a substitute word or phrase, such as time crawls or age bugs, to create a humorous or clever effect when combined with the original phrase. Use wordplay or other linguistic techniques to create a pun that subverts the listener or reader's expectations and adds humor or cleverness to the intended message, such as "time crawls when you're having fun, getting old bugs us all." An excellent explanation, isn't it? So, there you have it. ChatGPT can be used to generate puns. While it may not always hit the mark, it's a useful tool to have in your pun-making arsenal. So, experiment with ChatGPT. Come up with your own puns and remember to be creative and original. And to end on a puntastic note, ChatGPT may not be human, but it's still got a punderful sense of humor.